Good morning for our first live broadcast of today. Today we're going to go through some old records. These are from KFAR Radio in Fairbanks, Alaska, and these are part of the Lowell Purcell collection. Lowell was a longtime station manager, broadcaster, and over the years as they'd swap out the records, Lowell would take the old ones home, put together a pretty good sized collection. We've got a big portion of that, and we're going to go through that with you right now. I just want to say hello to our family in Hawaii. I understand they've subscribed and joined us, and we appreciate that. And we invite all of you to subscribe and join us here as we go through all kinds of collectible stuff and weather reports and reports of what resorts look like in Arizona and coins and a little bit of everything. So here we have the old records in a box, and they fit nicely in the Amazon shipping box. We're going to open this baby up. Let's see what we got. Use a knife that'll actually work. There we go. And for those of you who can't see it right now, let me go ahead and put it down here. I'm going to put this box on its side. Try and get some sort of a stage, and that'll work. Put this back down here. And again, be sure to subscribe. Smash that subscribe button. I was told I have to say the word smash a lot to be relevant here on YouTube. So we're going to smash a lot of things. And we'll put the box sideways here so you can see that there are lots of records. The yellow sleeve was the radio station sleeve. And so that's what it was put in. They would also put numbers on them to indicate their catalog numbers and so on. So these are some of those records, and we will go through a few of them. We'll do a few different broadcasts today to go through. We have two of these large boxes to go through. So this is the Bee Gees with You Stepped Into My Life. And on this side, it's Love So Right, I'm sorry. It has a 10-second intro. You can see there where they've marked the 10. That indicates that you have 10 seconds to talk over the record before you step on any lyric. 1976, it peaked at number 3 for that year. The other indicators, and then they had different colored labels to indicate whether or not it's something you want to play a certain time of day or not. That's our first record. Up next, we have Vandella Rocca, Memories Are Made of Pizza. And I don't know that I've ever heard this song. Don't know that you've ever heard of this song. Down the back side, it's Italian 16 tons. So that's a spectacular find. Hopefully it's the most rare and only one print ever, and that'll be worth $1 million. Probably not, but we'll put that off to the side and we'll check it out a little bit later on. I'll put my glasses on. It's the morning, November 30th, 2020. The year is almost over. This is Caught, Roped, and Tied by Jim Beasley and the Charmers. And on the back side, on Silhouette Records, is Sweetheart of Alpha Phi Alpha. And these are interesting prints. I don't know if these actually ever made it to the airwaves, or maybe they were cataloged and played once or twice and never became hits. They do have writing on the label, so they're not in perfectly mint press condition. Try a few more here. 6 strings Tennessee flat tops. And this is from 1977. It's a DJ copy. It's not for sale. So this would be a promo copy. You can see it says it right there. And this would have been sent out to the radio stations to try to get airplay. And as a disc jockey back in the day, we would put it on, listen to it ourselves, and decide if we liked it. Sometimes, like this Jeannie Bryant smash here, they would send us indication that you should probably play it because it's a big hit in Tennessee or California or wherever it might be, and we would try it up in Alaska. This one looks in really good condition, like it never got played much. The Same Corner by Roy Drusky. And then another by Roy Drusky on the backside. It's a 2-minute and 37-second song, and it's on Decca Records. And let's see if there's a copyright date on this one. I don't see one on here. It was covered by the label if it was on there. But this one was manufactured by Decca Records, New York, USA. So some of these in this group that we just grabbed, apparently those are all demos. Let's try in here. Sometimes those demos are worth a lot. So Brenda Lee, here's a name, Just a Little. And I Want to Be Wanted by Brenda Lee. And so Brenda Lee had quite a few hits back in the day. This is no copyrighted date on it. But you can see it's well used, it's scuffed, it's messed up, probably played a lot. So that would be more for someone who just wanted to collect the record, or sometimes people take these and make clocks out of them. Up here we have another, this is a Carol Brown, or it belonged to Carol Brown, or Carol Brown brought it in. Something Has to Change by Paul Anka. And this one, It's Time to Cry by Paul Anka. And now these are well played. So Paul Anka being a performer back then that would get some play just based on his name. 2 minutes and 19-second song. But you can see this side is very well scuffed up, which means that was probably down on the turntable. This is probably the song that they played. Or maybe Carol Brown, that sticker there might be a Carol Brown, but that was her favorite song. And they played it every day. The Arrows featuring Dave Allen. This is blue guitar. 2 minutes and 3 seconds long. They didn't make records very long back then. And on this side, the Arrows featuring Dave Allen, Apache 65, has Linda's name on it. And then this one was the blue guitar. And then there's some signature on there, Linda something or other. Maybe it was part of Linda's collection. All right, go in here, grab some others. This is Dean Martin, On With Your Livin'. This is the On With Your Livin' Reprise Records, a 2 minute and 44-second song. And 1973 is the copyright by Warner Brothers Records. And on this side is Smile by Dean Martin, 1973 copyright. It looks to be in pretty good condition. There is a little bit of scuffing. It has been played a couple of times. This side is spectacular. This side, you can see there is some touching on it, a few scratches here and there. So it's not perfectly mint, but Dean Martin being a superstar performer, could be one of those that never made it, one of those rare songs that never made it. So we'll put that off to the side and check out the value of that one. Jerry Vale, No Moon at All, and Jerry Vale, Making Believe You're Here. This one, they actually wrote the name on it, so it would get cataloged. There was a big rack on the side of the room. We'd go over and grab our records. You pull them out, sometimes just by the color of the label. Sometimes it was by the day part. You would have to pick the type of music you played. So 2 minute and 40-second song, marked 1954, 8:14. No Moon at All, 8:14, 45 RPM song. And this is the radio station copy. So again, this would be a promo radio station copy, one that you couldn't purchase normally out just running to the record store, which they used to have those. Those of you younger than, I don't even know what age at this point, you actually go buy 45s for about $1.25 back in the day. Deck of cards, worn out on this side, probably the bottom side. And then you know How It Feels by Wink Martindale. Wink Martindale. So Wink Martindale was the host of a game show. Maybe he thought he could sing. This would be fun to listen to just to see what the heck that's all about. So Wink Martindale, much like Marky Mark and Don Johnson and a bunch of guys who think they can sing because they're performers, do movies and TV shows. Maybe that's what that was. Here's Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond, an original pressing. The most famous song in Boston. Dig in on the other side. So Sweet Caroline, this is on UNI label, and it's pretty well worn out. It's been played a bunch, but certainly this is a find. If you collect music pressings of all the biggest hits, this one is certainly one. I'm not sure why the Atco Records sleeve is around it, but that's Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond. That'll go over here in our Gotta Check Out the Values. We'll put that right down there. Here's Black Sabbath Iron Man. Black Sabbath Iron Man. That was actually in a family game we played over the holidays where you had to guess words or guess titles, and you couldn't use certain phrases. Iron Man, I believe, was one of the winning answers. Black Sabbath. Wow. So for that radio station, Black Sabbath wasn't played ever. So this must have been a promo of some sort sent. This is on Warner Brother Records. It's in great shape. And I know that Iron Man went on to be a pretty big hit. So we're going to go ahead and put that off to the side as well. Music Where We Go, photographs. This is from Decca Records sleeve. Not sure if that has anything to do with it because it's a Warner Brothers record. Here's one. This is the Jones Girls. Love Don't Ever Say Goodbye, 1981. This is Assorted Music Incorporated, the Philadelphia International Records. label, and I found that Man of Mine by the Jones Girls, 1981. I've never heard of it. I don't know if you have, but certainly it's in great condition, which indicates that nobody ever played it. Put that right over here. Let's grab a couple more out of the center here. There's no specific order that these are in. Okay, here's Break Down the Door by Barry Manilow and Oh Julie by Barry Manilow. And this is 1982. So Barry releasing songs in 1982. Not sure if those ever made it. Here's The Captain and Tennille with Brody Bounce and Pour Amour Vivre Muller. Captain and Tennille, and this one's the 1975 copyright. Piece of paper fell down. What did that say on there? Oh, this is from a jukebox. Carpenters. So I'll put that up there. Maybe they swapped out of Carpenters. Gary Lewis and the Playboys, May the Best Man Win. And on the other side is Where Will the Words Come From by Gary Lewis and the Playboys. All right. A couple more here. Here's Suki Suki by Steppenwolf. And on the other side is Magic Carpet Ride. Which one do you think got played the most? So this would be Suki Suki on the B side, and Magic Carpet Ride, a super smash big hit by Steppenwolf on the A side. So that one, again, we'll put that off to the side and see. Now, many times when they're super big smash hits, they're not rare at all because everyone went out and bought them. But what can be rare is the actual label. So sometimes groups or bands will be signed by one label. They make a record, they either get dumped or they sue to get out of their contract, or they're finished their contract and they go onto a different label. And sometimes the same song will be released by a couple of different labels. Kisses Never Lie by Carl Smith. Why Can't You Be Satisfied With Me? Age-old question. A Love Was Born by Carl Smith again. And Walkin' the Slow Walk. This is All Yours by Joe Stafford, followed by Pine Top Boogie by Joe Stafford. Dave Seville and the Chipmunks. Here's an original Chipmunk. Oh my goodness. I'm sure everybody knows who the Chipmunks are. This is a Coming Around the Mountain by Dave Seville and the Chipmunks. And this is on Liberty label. On the other side is Sing a Goofy Song by Dave Seville and the Chipmunks. And scratched in here, it says 5/17/60. So I wonder if that has anything to do. There's some other things marked in here. There's a triangle or a delta, 34953-X. That's grooved into the vinyl. And then over here, if I can read it, there's a LB-1069 by, looks like 4, then a 2 in a circle, -1. For those of you who are record aficionados might know what that means. That's pretty cool. 5/12/60 is the date on this side. So 5/12/60. So this might be a 1960 pressing of A Goofy Song by Dave Seville and the Chipmunks. And on this side is Coming Around the Mountain. I'm going to hold on to that baby. That might be an original 1960 pressing, or maybe not. Maybe that was just other indications that it was released originally back then. Rock and Roll Soldier by Donovan. Both the A and B side. This is a demonstration, not for sale. So this would be a demo copy sent directly to the radio station. Multiple colors, so probably could be played all day long. Jack Scott with orchestral accompaniment. Leroy on one side and My True Love on the other side. We'll grab a few more for this video, and then we'll stop and we'll come back. I want to look up a couple of these records, and on our next live or video here, we'll talk about some of the values of what we may have learned, some of those that we found down there, including Dave Seville and the Chipmunks. All right, here's Paul Simon with the Dixie Hummingbirds, Learning How to Fall. Paul Simon, Loves Me Like a Rock. That was a million seller. Back then, that made you a gold record, million seller. 1973, some different information on there by the radio station, and you can see it's just torn up, probably way overplayed. But again, if you collect super hits and you just want the record, there you go. Here's Adult Education, backed with Maneater by Daryl Hall and John Oates. I got to believe Maneater was the bigger hit of those two, so it was on the B side. And let's see if they have the date. It's actually got the sleeve for it. Might have been a little bit racy for KFAR radio in Fairbanks back in the early 80s. And this doesn't have a copyright on it. Oh, it does. 1983 by RCA Records. Produced by Daryl Hall, John Oates, and Bob Clearmountain. And on this side, okay, here we go. Yep, Summertime. So this would only be a summertime hit on KFAR. It had to be something where it wasn't people sitting around listening in their offices or whatever. Very conservative music playlist, but certainly Maneater was a big hit, and they probably had to play it, but it did mark summertime on it only. So that was probably one that I would play in the wintertime and get in trouble for, which I did periodically. Had my own little thing going on there. Spent some time here in Arizona going to college, and then took that, I guess you'd say, attitude back up to Alaska. Not for sale. So this is a Hey Daisy by Tom Bresh. And I'm sure that's why it's not for sale. It's a promo record. Danny Boy by Syl Austin. And The Hungry Eye by Syl Austin. Never heard of him. Skeet Davis with I Can't Stay Mad at You. And Skeeter Davis with The End of the World. Apparently a pretty good song. Peaked at number 2 in 1963. And then for 1963, let's take a look at it here. Looks like there's a label on it. Maybe, well, it just says E 1963. So I'm not sure where it ended up for the year. But it was a number 2 hit in 1963. And we have a copy of it right there. So we're going to look that one up as well. That'll be in our next video of values. And where are we at? We have a couple more here. Let's jump through that one. Little Darlin' by These Things. Oh, These Things I'm Not, but maybe Little Darlin' is the record label. That's what that is. Interesting. Anytime by Paul Anka, I'll Be There, 1976. And then Something About You by Paul Anka, 1976. And this is Leroy Van Dyke with I Sat Back and Let It Happen from 1978. And How Long Must You Keep Me a Secret? We'll do 2 more because I want to end on a big boom here. Got to find something that's just boom, big time. Silent Night by Al Hibbert, just in time for the holidays. We're coming into the Christmas season here. So, of course, you've heard Bing Crosby sing these. You've heard Frank Sinatra sing them. You've heard Elvis Presley sing all these Christmas hits. But have you ever heard of Al Hibbler? So here's White Christmas on one side, and here's Silent Night on the other side. And this has the X on it, so maybe that was acceptable. On this one, this record from Ben Gilbert, Hollywood, 4-7274, Irving Berlin Music Corporation, Hollywood Office, has a label on it, which I think that's pretty cool as a collector's item. Irving Berlin Music Corp. So maybe, well, then this is Irving Berlin there. So this might be an original recording released by Al Hibbler. I have to look that one up too. That might be something very interesting. So that might have been our big finish there. But we're going to finish with Mac the Knife and see, I dropped the record. Thank goodness, just sleep. Here's 3 Dog Night, Joy to the World. That's a pretty good one. We'll look that one up. And then finally for this video, here's Mac the Knife. This one is on Atlantic Records. In 1959, it was number 1 for 9 weeks. See, there's a copyright on this one. It's manufactured by Atlantic Records Corp., 75 Rockefeller Plaza, New York. And 3 minutes, 4 seconds long, 45 RPM. Looking for any kind of a copyright on this one. Vocal doesn't say, so we're going to go ahead and look this up. There's a bunch of stuff also etched in the side here. I guess that's that's like the barcode of the day or some sort of thing to legitimize that it's an actual pressing from the actual company versus a reprint. I'm sure there's piracy back then as well. If you happen to have a record presser at your home or in your office, you can make a bunch of these up and then counterfeit them like they're doing nowadays with CDs and movies and all kinds of stuff. But there it is, Mac the Knife, 1959, number 1 for 9 weeks, Atlantic album, or Atlantic label. We'll look that up. So join us on our next one. We'll have more information on some of these records. This is a lot of fun. I've got many more to go through. It's KFAR Radio's record collection from Fairbanks, Alaska, back in the day, the Lowell Purcell collection. And we are having the first look at it here on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe. Hit that like button if you can. Again, these are old records. Want to say hi to our family in Hawaii. KFAR Radio, Fairbanks, Alaska. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time here with more of these old records being opened for the first time by me.